Well, good evening, basketball fans, and indeed, welcome here to Nagoya for today's game in the Japanese B.LEAGUE between Gunma Crane Thunders and the Fighting Eagles of Nagoya. Well, Gunma Crane Thunders, of course, have made monumental steps since last season, making the playoffs, and now proving themselves to potentially becoming a B.LEAGUE contender, now sitting in fourth place there you can see in their Eastern Conference. While for Fighting Eagles Nagoya, well, there's a lot of turnaround here for head coach Gary Oldman. Also good players to work for here. You got the likes of Sean O'Mara, Jeremy Jones, but not to mention the likes of Jamorko Pickett. So this team definitely has the talent. They just need to relate that into victories, and what better way than to do it here at home against the number 4 team in the Eastern Conference. Well, Bodrick Thomas, Mark Burton, the likes of Francis Lopez, I mean, they are a team to be reckoned with. The key thing for them, though, is finding consistency. Because head coach Gary Oldman, a legendary basketball coach in his own right. A man who, his experience goes extensively from coaching in Europe as well as being a scout for the Toronto Raptors in the NBA. And you have to remember, he was a superstar player at Virginia Tech back in his day. Well, there's Fighting Eagles Nagoya's record in the last few games. Because there's been some very good performances. As I mentioned, for them, it's finding that identity and putting the consistency on the court. While for the Gunma Crane Thunders, they're in the tougher division. There's no doubt you've got the likes of both Chiba Jets and Utsunomiya Brex, both top of the division. Those two powerhouses will take on each other later on today. But when you look at this team, they've made some big signings. I mean, they've retained the likes of Trey McKinney-Jones, but also, you can see here, Coach Kyle Milling has done a magnificent job of recruiting 2 of his key players that he had a part of his championship team at the Hiroshima Dragonflies in 2024, and that is both Takuto Nakamura, Japan's stellar point guard, and Kerry Blackshear Jr. Well, Johannes Tietman, Naoto Tsuji, co-flipping, they've also re-signed with this team, and they mean business because they had a very tough quarterfinals and a playoff berth last season as they were debutantes. But everybody's talking about Gunma, the team right now. Great infrastructure, great ownership, a great coach. Now it's putting the pieces on the table together. Well, Kyle Milling, another good player back in his day, because he made a name for himself playing professionally in France, and one of the teams he coached was the infamous Limoges CSP, which is one of the most historic teams of not only French basketball, but also European basketball as well. Because Kyle Milling's sons, all basketball players themselves. Just a fantastic team altogether. I mean, this is going to be a great game. It has the recipe to potentially go right down to the wire. Many people think Gunma will be favorites coming into this, but as mentioned, Fighting Eagles Nagoya, a very talented team with also a great coaching staff now looking to put into place a winning mentality. Well, fans, we are going to introduce the key players of both these two teams. And first player, Yuma Fuji. Well, there's the starting lineup. So Yuma Fuji will start at the point guard role with Takuto Nakamura as the shooting guard. Because Kerry Blackshear Jr. will be there for stretch 5. We're also in the lineup, you're going to see AJ Edu, the Gilas Pilipinas international. Now making the transfer over from Nagasaki. We could see him feature at the upcoming FIBA Basel World Cup qualifiers. Naoto Tsuji, the three-point shooter, will be the last player to come out. Well, now, fans, it's time to enjoy the local entertainment here in Nagoya as we introduce the key players of the Fighting Eagles. Well, there's your head players to look out for. Ruto Yasuoka, because averaging 8 points in the play he'll go up against is the three-point shooter Naoto Tsuji. Now, we could see both of these players feature for Tom Havas's team at the FIBA World Cup qualifiers, but now we'll look at the starting lineups here for the Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Well, there's your starting five tonight here for the Fighting Eagles. In the backcourt, they will have Riko Utsunamiya. Also partnering him will be number 10, Tensho Sugimoto. They do have Jones playing in the front court, who's going to have to be, a serious force to be reckoned with. Also, the likes of number 23, Ruto Yasuoka, the player to look out for tonight. Well, the final player will indeed be the big man, Sean O'Mara, as the natural center. Fans, indeed, we're now moments away from tip-off. This is the Japanese B.LEAGUE, and we welcome everybody watching live here on B.LEAGUE's official YouTube platform. There is the legendary coach, Calvin Oldman. Because go back to 2005 when he was the associate head coach of Alba Berlin in Germany, and he did spend a bit of his time playing professionally. Because as his assistant coach, Boykin, who you may remember, was actually a player in the B.LEAGUE, most notably with the Sun Rockers Shibuya. Like I said, quite an exciting coaching staff both of these two teams have. And they'll be looking to implement that on the court with some success. Well, Coach Ruben Boykin, the assistant coach here for Fighting Eagles Nagoya, played in Northern Arizona. He's originally from Los Angeles. Because his career as a player takes him back to playing in Poland with the likes of Ostra Wielkopolski, as well as Anwil Włocławek, and also, prior to coming to play in Japan with Bambitious Nara, played in Germany for Ludwigsburg. And his former coach, the former Chiba Jets head coach, John Patrick. Well, looking at that starting lineup, you got to think the one area I believe that Gunma Crane Thunders are going to have an advantage on is going to be the three-point shooting with Kerry Blackshear Jr. as their natural power forward. Well, again, to welcome everybody, the tip is off, and it will be the Fighting Eagles with the first possession. Because tempo is going to be so imperative here at home for the home team. Going down low already to Omar, but getting double teams. Has to kick this one out. They go for a deep three. And already, Nagoya erupting into celebration. Big time shot by Narito Namizato. Well, Namizato has got to find that consistency from the perimeter tonight if they're going to pick up a win. Nakamura finds a bit of space from 15. Left uncontested. Rebound has been secured by the Fighting Eagles. Namizoto working. They're trying to find Omar, but they'll go for another three. That's a little too off the mark. And Namizoto just dealing with the pressure of AJ Edu. Of course, AJ Edu, the natural center for Gunma Crane Thunders, playing for the Philippines at the 2023 FIBA World Cup. It got quite an accolade from one Carl Anthony Towns in that opening game against the Dominican Republic. Blackshear Jr. going in. Simply can't finish, but Edu comes in with a tip in. Well, John Reyes, when he coached him, as well as Tim Cohn, who most recently coached him at the FIBA Asia Cup, spoke volumes of AJ Edu's work ethic. Namizoto. Well, they go for a third three already here in the first quarter. Nakamura calmly gathers the rebound. Blackshear Jr. finds AJ Edu again. Well, another good look, but uncontested. And now here comes the Fighting Eagles. Let's see again. Now they go for a fourth three-pointer. It's only one taken, but you kind of feel Fighting Eagles Nagoya may want to get the ball inside to Sean O'Mara. That's going to be an offensive foul against Kerry Blackshear. Oh, no. Defensive foul is going to be called. Well, it kind of looked like Kerry Blackshear Jr. had locked arms with him, but that's tough. I don't know about that. Foul was called against Jeremy Jones. I think Jones has got an argument. Sideline possession of Gunma. There's a penetration. Trying to find someone to kick out to. Another foul, and already Kerry Blackshear Jr. becoming a nuisance for Fighting Eagles. That's on route to Yasuoka. Yeah, the Fighting Eagles defense. Let's have a look here. See, that one I definitely agree with. Very unnecessary movement by Ruto Yasuoka. Still 1 point deficit. Pulling up for a very tough three, going out of bounds. And well, Fuji had to take that one with time winding down, but both teams struggling to get into any form of a set offense. Need to establish that identity. Jones bringing the ball up. Well, Gunma have a player down. Now they go for a fifth three here in the first quarter. Mara badly. But Gunma coming up with a rebound. Because the early stages of this game haven't been too fruitful, and already another foul. That's going to be the third team one against Fighting Eagles. And that's against Narito Namizato. Fighting Eagles Nagoya don't want to get into a case of picking up too many fouls early on. It's only Namizato's first personal. Almost 3 minutes played here in the first quarter. Because if you are new to the B-League, both these two teams, different conferences, the top three teams in each conference go to the playoffs. The final two spots go to the Wildcards. And a nice finish by Nakamura, finishing. Well, he's become a huge revelation since being a part of Coach Kyle Milling's championship campaign with the Dragonflies back in 2024. Because they then went on to feature and play at the FIBA BCL Asia that was played in Dubai back in that summer, coming third place. This is good defense by Nakamura. Namizoto may have felt he got impeded, but nothing was called. Well, this time the bank is open. Namizoto just finding the right angle, but can that build some confidence? Fighting Eagles have been settling for a lot of three-pointers. Just need to find a little bit more fluidity in their offense. Blackshear now going handoff here with Fuji. This is better defense by the Fighting Eagles. Tsuji with an offensive rebound, still no good. Oh, may have just touched the rim to avoid the 24-second violation. Nakamura denies the screen. Little floater, still can't get it, but again, relentless work by Kerry Blackshear Jr. No foul given. And that is going to be baseline possession retained by the Gunma Crane Thunders. Well, O'Mara's got to do a better job of preventing these offensive boards. Well, checking into the game at the moment here for the Gunma Crane Thunders, Kazuki Hosokawa. Hosokawa, you may remember, had that game-winning three-pointer last season against Shimane Susanna Magic. Trey McKinney-Jones, also in the lineup, tries to force his way in. Again, another offensive rebound for Gunma. 4 minutes played as now Nakamura will fire up. Again, nothing clicking. Only 9 points distributed between these two teams, but again intercepted. A poor entry pass by Jones to O'Mara. And now Gunma look to push. Again, another careless turnover. And a foul is going to be committed by Nakamura. Great work by Jones. Again, there's definitely a reach on the arm. There's contact for sure, but it's a physical game. You got to adapt to the temperature of how the referees are calling this one. And Gunma have those expectations of getting back to the playoffs. And who knows, maybe challenge for a B-League championship. Well, it all goes flying in. This time, O'Mara, you've got to get the big man good looks. 3-point lead currently here to Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Blackshear Jr. throws the lob up, and it's connected by AJ Edu. Oh, the Twin Towers. And I think Edu's going to get a lot of points this season when you have a good passing big, such as Kerry Blackshear Jr. O'Mara goes to Edu. That's good defense, but simply better offense by Sean O'Mara. Still 3 points of difference. Nakamura just calling for the high screen. The deep one, not finding that consistency from the 3-point line. The rhythm just not there at the moment. Jones penetrates. Takes a deflection off Nakamura, but Fighting Eagles will get it back onto their basket. Well, Woodbury coming into the game now here for Gunma Crane Thunders. Also checking in for the Fighting Eagles, Hiramatsu. So both teams rotating just over midway here in the first quarter. Fighting Eagles looking to extend their lead. They've had that success with O'Mara inside the paint. Straight off the bench, has to force it up. O'Mara, and that's going to be a 24-second violation. And I don't understand that. When you've had two good post looks by Sean O'Mara, why not find the big man at the double block again? Well, O'Mara's going to go to the bench. Jamorko Pickett spent last season playing in Turkey for Manisa, also played in the European Basketball Champions League, the FIBA competition. Quite a big pickup here for the Fighting Eagles. Trey McKinney-Jones now goes in, attacks, but misses. Well, decided to go with his right hand and had the left hand wide open. Fighting Eagles, another three. This time, no problem from downtown. Beautifully tucked away by Jeremy Jones. Biggest lead here in the first quarter. That's a better fake, but again, good defense. Oh no. Looks like a delayed call, but they are going to give free throws coming up here, but that's a great take by AJ Edu. And he is so much more than just an intangible role player. As I said, AJ Edu got applauded by then two-time NBA All-Star Karl-Anthony Towns back in 2023 for making him a better international basketball player. Foul is on Jamorko Pickett. So free throws coming up here for Edu. Well, number one player in blocks this season here in the B-League at 1.7 per game, and also number 4 in free throw percentages at 89.7%. Well, big thank you to my colleague who gets me these stats. Arigato, Kazuya Nishikawa. Second free throw good. Gunma going into a 2-3 zone defense. Just see how Fighting Eagles Nagoya break this down. Well, Fighting Eagles Nagoya, they're now going to have to learn how to battle this zone, but another three-pointer won't do them any problems. Biggest lead of the game at 8 points. Woodbury along with Edu coming up for the double high screen. Now Woodbury, he'll fire a three. Everything just too short. Fighting Eagles Nagoya looking to push this one. I think they're being defended by Woodbury. The defense is going to be tough to break down. There's the ISO. Oh, good work by Edu, preventing that one. Now the ball hit the rim, so it's fair game at that point. We're going to fire another three. Well, without Kerry Blackshear Jr. on the floor with AJ Edu at the perimeter, Gunma's going to find it hard to contest the offensive boards. Now we just have over 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. There's a pump fake. Going for another three. It's up, and oh, baby! Fighting Eagles Nagoya have come out like a house on fire as Ruto Yasuoka from downtown. Well, Coach Calvin Altman's players, they've been tested with the zone, and at the moment they're having a buffet. We'll be back in just under 1 minute. Well, just under 2 minutes to go. We're live here in Nagoya. This game in the Japanese B.LEAGUE, where currently it's an 11-point lead to the Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Gunma about to turn it over again. They do just that. It's a 3-on-1. Well, unable to capitalize. They had the numbers, but not quite the spacing in their fast break. They've got to do better. 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Oh, Woodbury, this time going to the bucket. Gets the ab one. He'll go to the free throw line. That's much better by Gunma. Because Gunma looked very static in their offense, settling for a lot of perimeter shots, but that time Woodbury just able to get past Jeremy Jones. Offensive rebound gathered by Gunma. A bit of a post entry, but again struggling. Challenging the 50-50s. Woodbury in the paint. Has to go for the fadeaway, but he's able to cut it down. 7-point deficit. Well, is Woodbury going to be that X factor off the bench? Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Jones penetrates right to the bucket and no help side defense. Well, if Gunma goes quickly here, they can't go 2 for 1. Woodbury almost turned it over. That time the 50-50 falling in Kazuki Hosokawa's hands. Roughly 4 seconds over between game and shot clock. Fighting Eagles Nagoya will try to dribble this down for the final play. Winding the time down. Get into the bucket, and that defense simply not acceptable. Well, a bit of time here for Gunma. They got to go quickly. We're just going to have to force this one up, but that's not going to go, and that is the end of the first, where currently Fighting Eagles Nagoya lead by 9 against the Gunma Crane Thunders. We're live here in the Japanese B-League, and we'll be back in under 2 minutes for the second quarter. Well, welcome back, basketball fans. We're live here in the city of Nagoya for this game in the Japanese B-League. Head coach Kyle Milling finds his team down by 9 points, but the Gunma Crane Thunders, the number 4 team in the Eastern Conference, will get first possession. Great start for the Fighting Eagles Nagoya, because they're only 1 out of 5 from the first 5 3-point attempts. They since have improved. Blackshear Jr. coming up for the high screen. To kick this one out. Woodbury has to take contested 3. May have got a touch to it. And not a good offense. A 24-second violation. Well, they're being battled. They're being tested. They just got to learn how to find that composure to get into this game. But it's a great start from the Fighting Eagles. Better now. Woodbury goes in for a simple, easy Euro step, and I don't think the defense even wanted to contest that one. Well, the experience of Woodbury has come off the bench and so far is their leading scorer. Another 3 here for Fighting Eagles. Rebound gathered here by Kerry Blackshear Jr. A foul is going to be committed. That foul is going to be against Soichiro Kanda. Let's have a look at the replay. There's the pass by Nakamura. Kanda had no... Well, it's quite a lucky play because that's quite a risky foul to give away if you want to pick up an unsportsmanlike. Namizato checking back into the game for Fighting Eagles. Nakamura going to Kerry Blackshear Jr. Counted, and he'll go to the free throw line. Well, Fighting Eagles Nagoya have always tried to clog the paint every time he comes from a ball screen, but that time, just so Mamba-like, the former University of Florida Gator and 2024 B-League champion. Now going to the charity stripe to convert this potential 3-point play and cut it down officially to a 2-possession ball game. Well, subbing into the game, Tensho Sugimoto for the second time did feature in the first quarter. His team's led by as many as 11 points, so Shun Omara is going to go to the bench. Slightly smaller lineup. I'm not quite sure it's the sub that Coach Boykin wants to make, but he's got no choice at the moment. Doesn't want his star center to get into too much foul trouble. Four-point deficit. Namizato. Can't tell you it over. Oh no, he's able to get this one back. Another three goes flying. This one's up and again, no good. An offensive rebound and second chance points could potentially become a three-point play for Tensho Sugimoto. Well, when you go up against a top B-League team, sometimes you've got to play from without yourself. And plays like this, there's a three-pointer. Watch Sugimoto. Nobody put a body on him. Chance for Fighting Eagles Nagoya to extend this to a 7-point lead as Nakamura unfortunately picking up his second personal. He'll have to go to the bench. So now it's Osuji back into the lineup here for Gunma. Cannot convert the three-point play. Kerry Blackshear Jr. goes in. Good defense. Woodbury offensive rebound and both teams battling each other with second chance opportunities. So I wonder if both coaches, Coach Kyle Milling and Coach Oldman, are going to go into the halftime break and say, listen, we've got to box out. We've got to win this rebound count. This is better defense by Gunma. Chance to maybe cut it down to one possession game or maybe a 1-point deficit. But Fighting Eagles Nagoya, already we haven't played halfway here in the second quarter and they only have one foul to give. Now one's on Tensho Sugimoto. What is he doing? Well, he's trying to deny Yuma Fuji from getting possession, but, you know, Fuji's not going to be a threat at the half-court logo. Well, they brought Omara back into the game to help with his rebounding. Time winding down. Woodbury has to make a choice. Goes for a three and it's up. Again, the three is just not going in tonight here for Gunma. But they've got to keep shooting him. Omara. Nice pass in the paint. Goes in. And Omara with the dime in the finish by Sugimoto. Well, it was Sugimoto's cut to the baseline. Once he knew the double team came over. Fighting Eagles Nagoya still lead by 6. Fuji will take a contested three. That one's up. It's been a disastrous calamity from the three-point line in the first half for Gunma. Probably could have gone up with the layup, but it's another careless turnover by Fighting Eagles. Nice take, finds Kerry Blackshear. That is what I said pregame. The advantage could very well be for Gunma inside the paints. Kerry Blackshear, prior to coming to Japan, had a very dominant season playing in Turkey back in 2022 for the mighty Galatasaray. One of the biggest basketball teams in international hoops. Two good looks that they gave up. Jones back in the game. Takes a bump, and I'd say the critical points of both teams defensively, they haven't looked very straight so far. I mean, they're all out of sorts. That time, it was a back and forth between Namizoto and Sugimoto in the corner, but even Jones, just how convenient was it for him to get inside the paint? That foul is on Hosokawa, so 2 free throws coming up for Jeremy Jones. Well, we get another stat. It is currently Jeremy Jones, ranked number 8 in the B-League for steals this season, averaging just over nearly 2 steals per game. So another big thank you to my colleague, Kazuki Nishikawa. Big arigato. Well, Jones first came to the B-League in 2021 when he started with the Fighting Eagles Nagoya. First played in Germany, also played in Austria after playing 3 seasons at Gonzaga. Good take again. What a rejection by Omara. Omara just said, not in my house. Or as they say in Japanese, sayonara. Wide open 3 goes flying. And arigato gozaimasu. Fighting Eagles Nagoya on both ends of the floor as the 3 buried by Ruto Yasoka. Well, that's what you like to see. A block down one end and then a 3 sunk in transition. 9-point Fighting Eagles lead. Kitty Jones has to pull up for 15. Count it. And now he'll go to the free throw line. Well, that's a good response from Gunma. Because he was one of their top scorers last season that enabled them to get into the playoffs. Well, checking into the game, Hiramatsu yet again. So the foul wasn't on the shooter. It was away from the Bulls, so that's why it's a baseline possession. Kitty Jones had space for a three-pointer. Going down low to A.J. Edu. CG fires up a 3. Finally gets one from downtown. It's back to a 4-point deficit, and that's a huge 5-point play for Gunma. Almost halfway to go. Gunma's got 1 foul to give. Fighting Eagles Nagoya don't have any left to give. But they'll fire another 3 again, back and forth. A timeout is going to be called by Gunma Crane Thunders with 4:56. It has become a 3-point Japanese buffet right now from Fighting Eagles. 7-point bowl game. We'll be back in just under 1 minute. Well, 4:56 to go. Because when Fighting Eagles Nagoya have dominated this game, has been from the perimeter. Because the most ever threes made in a B-League game was back in 2022 by Akita Northern Happy Net, so they converted 22 of those, actually. Edu goes in. Now moving up to 6 points. Nice pass coming from Naoto Tsuji. Because AJ Edu may be the most lethal player at just relentlessly setting ball screens and getting open. Still a 2-possession ball game. Mara had to catch a tough one. Good defense by Trey McKinney-Jones, but nobody running with him here in transition. Jones probably could have gone for the layup himself. And again, Edu goes in with a big-time tomahawk dunk. And that becomes a 4-0 run right out of their timeout, and now forcing Fighting Eagles Nagoya to call timeout of their own. And again, we will be back in under 1 minute. AJ Edu inspiring this run here from the Gunma Crane Thunders. Well, Coach Boykin, of course, understanding his team do have the momentum, but got to prevent turning the ball over. And if they do either turn it over or miss a shot, they've got to make every effort to get back on defense. Still leading by 3. Gonna stay in this 2-3 zone defense. Mara has a post up. Get a contact, he'll go to the free throw line. It was a tough unit to handle. You could see Kerry Blackshear Jr. was thinking about coming over for the double team. It's the size, physicality, and the footwork. But Amara now will go for 2. Well, Sean O'Mara, a former Xavier University product, just played in Finland in his first pro year, then came to Japan with Osaka Vesta back in 2019. Last 3 seasons all been with Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Well, good take by Trey McKinney-Jones, unable to get the ad one, but he'll go to the charity stripe. Just playing a step quicker than everybody. Sure who the foul was on, but much needed free throws here at the moment for Trey McKinney-Jones. Because considering the amount of points that Gunma's trailed by here in the first half, it would be a huge confidence booster to go into the halftime break with a lead. Second free throw good, 2-point game. Terry Blackshear Jr. going to the bench, while also coming into the game for Fighting Eagles Nagoya, the return of Jamarco Pickett. Because he had a great start to the BCL campaign in Europe last year when he did play for Manicio's teammates with Saban Lee, who set the BCL record at the beginning of the season for most points in a game. Baseline pay, no foul given. Good take in the end by Namizato, but not enough. And now Gunma can tie the game up. Potentially take the lead with a three-pointer. Tsuji finds Trey McKinney. Jones, three for the lead is up. Another good look. But it just isn't becoming a three-point day here for Gunma. Amara up against Woodbury. Double team coming over by Hosokawa. Now it's a mismatch in the paint as Jones looks to ISO. Jones down the middle. And an offensive foul is going to be called against Sean O'Mara. Well, there's a take by Jones. O'Mara just pushing Woodbury in the back. And unfortunately, there was good positioning by Woodbury on the box out, so that's going to be a foul. And O'Mara can argue all he wants, but unfortunately, that is a foul. It's not an offensive foul or a team control foul, so this now allows Gunma Crane Thunders to level things up with 3:01. Tie game with over 3 minutes. Woodbury converts both free throws. Of course, Gunma know they've got a battle in the Eastern Conference against both the two title favorites in Chiba Jets and the three-time champions and defending champions Utsunomiya Brex. There's a cross-court pass. Pickett's got to put up a tough three. Way off the mark. Amara battles, goes out of bounds. Now, it didn't hit the shot clock. Now, 2 seconds. You can see the Gunma players asking Coach Kyle Millen to go for a head coach challenge, but would it be worth it? That's the question. All you've got to do is defend these 2 seconds, come up with possession. So I don't think, and that's a good call. That is why Coach Kyle Millen is so smart, not going for the head coach's challenge. Well, maybe you should have gone for it, actually. Namizato beats the buzzer. Well, it's been a while since Fighting Eagles Nagoya made a three-pointer, but what a huge tray ball. Now Tsuji for the mid-range. That rattles its way in and out, can't get it. Fighting Eagles Nagoya, can they build some momentum with over 2 minutes left here in the first half? They've led by as many as 11. Little teardrop now making it a 5-point ball game. And Gunma's going to have to call timeout. What a take by Takaya Sasayama. Well, we will return from this timeout very shortly. 2:07 to go here in the second quarter. We're live here in Nagoya. Welcome back, basketball fans. We're live here in Nagoya for this game in the B-League between Fighting Eagles Nagoya, our hosts, and the Gunma Crane Thunders. Well, it was a tie game at 35 apiece, but a 5-0 run sees the Fighting Eagles lead by 5 points. Fuji working with Blackshear Jr. It's a kick out. Fuji pump fakes. Contested three, and again, just very indecisive there from Yuma Fuji. Great defense from Jamarco Pickett. Or Jamarco Pickett, I should say. And now it's back to a 7-point lead. 10 points to Namizato. The game is becoming a roller coaster for Fighting Eagles, led by as many as 11. Very Blackshear Jr. bit of contact, can't finish. Woodbury can't get the offensive board. Fighting Eagles looking to push the momentum, pile more pressure against Gunma. Foul is going to be called on the ground, so free throw's coming up for Sean O'Mara. Foul is on Kerry Blackshear Jr. Well, O'Mara did make it a 9-point ball game. Woodbury spinning baseline. Well, no basket interference. Instead, that was on the top rim. So potential 2 for 1 for Fighting Eagles Nagoya. It's a turnover, costly play. Suji, another wild three, and again, I just don't think that was the right shot to go for. Blackshear Jr. comes up with it. Almost got to get a final good offense going into the halftime break. Blackshear, mismatch, goes in. Foul drawn, so trip to the free throw line for Kerry Blackshear Jr. Because all the fans watching live on B.LEAGUE International, get ready for the up-and-coming 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. Many of these players will be featuring for their countries. Because we could see Hosokawa, Naoto Tsuji play for Japan, and definitely we'll see AJ Edu play for the Philippines. Gilas Pilipinas. Well, a timeout is going to be called. 17.2 left here in the second quarter. 9-point lead currently to the Fighting Eagles Nagoya. We will return from this timeout in just under 1 minute. Well, he's going to be hoping his team can get one final good look. Depending how these free throws go here for Kerry Blackshear Jr. Well, it's now his 4th professional season here in the B-League after 3 years at Hiroshima. Quite a roller coaster. Kerry Blackshear Jr.'s first season where he was teammates with Kai Soto in Hiroshima. And made the playoffs only to lose to Chiba Jets in the first round. Then the following year, defeating Nagoya in Game 3 in the semifinals, and then coming back after Game 1 in the finals and winning against Ruku Golden Kings. Well, he has that B-League championship. 7-point ball game. Fighting Eagles Nagoya can have one final possession. Namizato waiting patiently for the ghost screen action. He'll go for another 3. That's too short. Amara, offensive rebound. Gotta shoot it. And that won't go. 7-point lead to Fighting Eagles Nagoya as we head into the halftime break. Well, fans watching live on B.LEAGUE International, we're going to have a 20-minute break until we return, so go get a drink, go get something to eat. Don't go anywhere too long. We'll be back for the second half. We are live here in Nagoya for this game in the B-League.
テレビ会場の皆さんも一緒にカウントしてあげてくださいね。言いかかってしまったらまた一からやり直しです。頑張って皆さんも準備はよろしいですか？ OK。 それでは行きましょう。ブルドッグのチャレンジ。レディーゴー。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16、17、18、19、20、21、22、23、24、25。まさかの僕ばっかノーミスの25回。とにかくリハーサル6回だったんですよ。すごい。これ2人はちょっとプレッシャーが一気に高まりましたね。やば。でもスコッピーはやってくれそうな気がします。まあね、古野君も頑張ったけど、ナーマーシのお二人もかなり、ね、頑張りましたね。ありがとうございます。そう。やっぱ息を合わせてやることが必要ですからね。早めに回してとか言ってるのかな。さあ、2番手スコッピーのチャレンジいきましょうか。レディーゴー。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16、17、18、19、20、21、22、23、24。ちょっともうね、記録がちらついちゃいましたね。残り時間を見ながらっていう感じでしたけども、24回ぐらいいったのかな。はい。OK。 でも素晴らしい。リード君、まさかの2人が本番でほぼノーミスという、ちょっと緊張高まりますけど、頑張っていこうか。今日の主役リード君、よし、グイグイっとね、準備をして、目標は26回かな。よし、頑張っていきましょう。皆さんも応援してください。レディーゴー。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16、17、18、19、20、21、22、23、24、25、26、27、28、28で素晴らしい。ということで見事チャンピオンに輝いたのはリード君でした。おめでとう。いや、みんなとっても頑張りました。じゃあリード君、スコッピー3人で記念撮影しておきましょうかね。コートの真ん中で記念撮影です。さて、来年1月24日、25日、2月14日、15日は豊田合成記念体育館エントリオでイーグルスのホームゲームがあります。ブルド君やスコッピーにも会えますからね、ぜひ皆さんお越しください。さあ、めちゃくちゃ頑張りました。3人のマスコットに大きな拍手をお願いします。以上、マスコット大運動会でした。さあ、変わりまして、予想タイムの正解と当選者の発表を行っていきましょう。今日の予想タイム問題は、イーグルスの選手で最初にスリーポイントを決めるのは誰でしょうかでした。今日の試合、最初にスリーポイントシュートを決めたのは3番並里成人選手でした。正解者は17名。ウルド君も確か並里選手ね、予想しておりました。その中から見事フィーバータイムで選手と一緒にカウントダウンをできる権利をゲットしたのはゴール A3 列13番の方です。この後メールが届きます。おめでとうございます。さあ、ハーフタイムは残り9分50秒を切りました。皆さん後半戦にも期待していきましょう。 冊が映し出されました。安岡選手を筆頭に
Welcome back, fans. We're live here in Nagoya for this game of the Japanese B.LEAGUE. We're currently Fighting Eagles Nagoya lead 44-37 against Gunma Crane Thunders. Gunma currently only 1 out of 13 from the three-point line so far this evening. That has been the big difference, while 7 converted three-pointers, shooting a total of 43.8% from downtown. While Gunma may be winning the offensive rebound count, the totality of that stat does go in favor of Fighting Eagles Nagoya, but it's been the turnovers that have been a problem for both these two teams. Both of them need to do a better job at taking care of the basketball. But the team currently 4th place in the Eastern Conference are trailing by 7 against Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Well, there's your head player to look out for. There's Naoto Tsuji only with 3 points. While on the other hand, you look at Ruto Yasuoka, currently 3 out of 6 from the perimeter. Well, it would be a monumental win for Coach Oldman and his players if they can get the W tonight. Welcome back, everybody. We are live and we're ready to get things back underway. Well, right away from the get-go, you can already see Namizato just finding his way and now extending it to a 9-point lead. He's got 12 points this evening. It's way too easy for them to begin the game like this. A good response there by Nakamura. Only his 2nd field goal tonight. Looking transition, there's the pump fake. Go for another 3. Only converted 1 so far. We saw that stat at halftime. Take their chances fighting Eagles at some points. Gunma's going to make that run as Kerry Blackshear Jr. battles for it. 2nd chance point's no good. Fighting Eagles Nagoya come up with it. Namizato kicks out, gets a good look at the corner. That's a tough play there. Foul is going to be called against Kerry Blackshear Jr. Well, 9 points coming now for Kerry Blackshear Jr., cutting it down to a 5-point deficit. They've only scratched the surface. They've been able to level things up, but that was in the 2nd quarter until we saw that 9-0 run come from Fighting Eagles. Amara posts up, goes in, attacks. Simply too much to handle. And like Kerry Blackshear Jr. now, he has 9 points. Foul is going to be committed by Jeremy Jones. Well, this is the problem Fighting Eagles Nagoya had at the beginning of the game. They were just picking up too many unnecessary fouls, but that's only the 2nd one for Jones. Not too much for him to be worried about. Well, the veteran checking in, Woodbury. Fair to say he was their best player in the 1st half. Finding Nakamura. 7-point deficit. Woodbury coming off one screen. A little too much on the pass. Hosokawa just couldn't retain it. And it's another Gunma turnover. Omara fancies this post up here against Woodbury. Bumps, twists, turn. Big man just going to work. And now has 11 points. Well, it's textbook. It's old school. Back to the basket post up. Still a 9-point lead. Almost turning it over, but another foul. And again, it's just the unnecessary play by Namizato. He's diving for the ball, but you've got to have a little bit more composure. I mean, it's good hands-on defense, but watch here. It's also dangerous because you're going into the side of Nakamura, and that could potentially be an injury. So Namizato picking up his third foul, and it's a loss for Fighting Eagles because he's had a great game so far. Well, the good thing, it looks like Nakamura is going to be okay. So coming back into the game for Fighting Eagles, Hiramatsu. Still a 9-point lead. Nakamura, nice penetration, but he's unable to get the at one. He'll go to the free throw line. Because he's come a very long way in his career. Think about, being that youngster with Hiroshima. And that finals in 2024 where he played outstanding defense against arguably one of the B-League's best PGs in Ryuichi Kishimoto of the Ryukyu Golden Kings. Game 2 and Game 3, he was undeniable. Well, he missed the first free throw because he was magnificent for Hiroshima at the BCL Asia 3rd and 4th place game when he helped them win the bronze medal against Gordogan of Iran. Feature for Japan in the build-up to the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Will we see him in 2 weeks' time play for the national team at the World Cup qualifiers? Oh, both free throws missed. Sensing a bit of fatigue here at the moment here from Gunma Crane Thunders. Amara's been dominant in the post, but now gets a double team. Almost throwing that a one away, but Nakamura just with the help side drop defense. Baseline ball coming up to Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Amara the double block. Double comes. This time no double. Amara, and that's going to be a 24-second violation. That's actually better defense from Gunma Crane Thunders. That time, it was a good take by Amara, but, the 24-second came into place. But Gunma Crane Thunders, Trey McKinney-Jones, that time doubling, forcing him to kick the ball out. Tsuji. Looks to penetrate, still has it. 5 on the shot clock here for Nakamura. Puts up a circus shot and gets his own rebounds. And Woodbury was wide open on the kick out the first time. They didn't get the ball to him. Now they'll go for a 3. Again, nothing going. Well, these are good looks they're getting. They're not bad shots. They're just not converting them. A big test here for the team number 4 in the Eastern Conference. Remember, top 3 teams in both the East and the West will go to the playoffs. Next 2 spots go to the Wildcats. Miss attempts. Gunma have numbers. That's going to be a kickball violation, but that's much better, though, from Gunma. 4 players in transition, and Woodbury doing a magnificent job sprinting ahead, but I would also say that's intelligent defense by Jones. Well, you just saw Kazuki Hosokawa now. Referees are going to the monitor. I'm not quite sure what they're going to review here. Maybe on a previous shot, possibly? So the players are going to have to go to the bench. So we're going to find out very soon what our referees are going to say. Now, if you are watching this game live, make sure you subscribe to B.LEAGUE International on YouTube and follow the B.LEAGUE on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to get all the best B.LEAGUE news, highlights, and content that matter to you most. We'll wait to find out what the referees are going to make from this review. I'm not quite sure what they're reviewing, but we'll find out soon. Well, judging by the signal of the referees, I think they must have gone back to look at a previous shot to identify whether it was a 2 or a 3-pointer. So they have identified 2 points. Not quite sure what shot it was, though. 5:39 to go here in the third quarter. 9-point Fighting Eagles lead. Tsuji almost fumbles the handoff. Woodbury looking for a second three, and again, just will not go in. Well, they've only made one, and only down by 9. Fighting Eagles looking to extend back to a double-digit lead. Deflection, no backcourt violation. There's a curl pulling up from 17, puts it up and drills that one. Back to an 11-point lead, neatly tucked away by Tencho Sugimoto. Well, he's got 6 points this evening. Everybody playing their part so far for the Fighting Eagles. Jimmy Kitty Jones will fire a 3, front iron. And I don't think I've ever seen a tough night from the 3-point line by a Gunma Crane Thunder's team. There's a bump, no foul given, goes out of bounds. Gunma will get it back. Oh, Jeremy Jones clearly feels like there should have been a foul called. But nothing given. Well, both Yuma Fuji, Curry Blackshear Jr. and A.J. Edu back into the lineup, and I think they've definitely missed A.J. Edu's presence inside the paints. Because he was dominant in the first quarter. Can they get the Gilos Filipinas big man involved? Blackshear twisting, spinning, in and around, simply unstoppable. 11 points to Curry Blackshear Jr. They need him to be more dominant. And good defense by A.J. Edu. Can't go a push. Down by 7. Woodbury still has it. Woodbury goes in. Now making it a 4-0 run for Gunma. And a timeout is going to be called. As Fighting Eagles Nagoya may have a bit of concern. Well, we're going to return from this timeout in under 1 minute. This is the B.LEAGUE. We're live here in the city of Nagoya. Gunma, number 4 team in the Eastern Conference, down by 7. Well, we're under 4 minutes to go. Fighting Eagles Nagoya have been in total control of this game since the game was leveled up in the second quarter. They went on a scoring spree. Chamorko Pickett back in the lineup. Well, turning it over. Good defense by Curry Blackshear Jr. Edu finds Woodbury. Woodbury tries to force his way in. No foul given. Well, they want a traveling violation. Hosokawa reaching twice, but now falls back into the hands of Namisato. High slip screen coming here from Jones. Namisato hesitates. Goes for a tough fadeaway. And that is the benefit of having AJ Edu switching on the guards and contesting every shot. Edu now has a mismatch. Kicks out. Woodbury fires a three. It's another good look. You can't argue. But why, oh why they're not going in, that is a mystery. Maybe no one's going to figure out until they finally start converting. Jones got it by AJ Edu. Fighting Eagles and Nagoya got to put up a deep three. Time winding down. Oh, baby! Fighting Eagles Nagoya continue as Takaya Sasayama from downtown. 10-point ball game. Gunma not out of it. Fuji doesn't have space. Black Sheep diving on the ground, keeping this one alive. And a jump ball, but that is going back to Fighting Eagles because Gunma began the... Or actually, is it going to stay? I think it's the other way around. My apologies. I'm trying to remember who had first possession. And, yeah, so Fighting Eagles Nagoya had first possession here in the second half. So Gunma will get it back. Now the shot clock doesn't reset, so 4 seconds remaining. 2:06 left here in the third quarter. Amaro subbing back into lineup. So Jeremy Jones going back to the bench. Well, he believes. He's got a talented team, and he's got a good team as well. But right now, they've been challenged. Well, they've got to go quick. Time's winding down. Hosokawa. And that is going to be well, they're trying to say it hit the rim. So I think the officials may have to go and review this. Well, the refs will go to the monitor. We'll find out, and we'll see the replay very soon to find out, did this touch the rim? There's the take by Hosokawa. Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah, that should be possession to Gunma Cray Thunders. Well, if anything, great work by Hosokawa for putting up a attempt that made it hit the rim. Well, the officials are still discussing. So I think they have to take a little bit of time off the shot clock. So 10 seconds on the shot clock. That's right. Which I still think it's a little bit quick considering when they blew the whistle after Kerry Blackshear Jr. caught it. So this will be a baseline possession. Much better than having 4 seconds left to get a shot off quickly. Edu quick handoff. Kerry Blackshear Jr. Hosokawa foul, making the second three of the game, and a potential 4-point play coming up. And as I reiterate, that's only the second three-pointer for Gunma Cray Thunders. Who else? The man who hit the buzzer beater last season against Shimane Suzano Magic. Big time play by Kazuki Hosokawa. I'm not sure what the officials are signaling here. So it wasn't a three-point. He had his foot on the line. It's a 2-point. That's what it was. So good decision if they got that one right. Hosokawa can't cut it down to 7 points. 1:49 to go here in the third quarter. So So still Gunma with only one three-pointer tonight. Asagawa converts a three-point play. 7-point deficit, only 5 points for him this evening. Namizato, currently defended here by Yuma Fuji. Expiring time here on the shot clock. They'll go for another three. It's a little too short. It will go out of bounds. Gunma's going to get it back at 126. Well, if Gunma plays smart for this final 126, it could potentially be a 3 for 2. Fuji bit of contact. That's a great play, and now he'll go to the free throw line. Gunma's only committed one foul here in the third, while already Nagoya's put Gunma into the penalty. So now they can chip away at the deficit without any time coming off the clock. Well, Gunma were 9 for 13 from the free throw line. That's something that they don't want to look back in this game and think, could it haunt them? Because Gunma, 16 points, though, from Fighting Eagles Nagoya's turnovers. Nagoya, only 4 in that matter, but like I said, it's shooting. That's been the monumental difference in this game. 6-point deficit. Still plenty of time in this game. Coming high for the screen. There's a penetration. Kick out. Not sure what's happened here. Traveling violation, I think, so a costly turnover. Well, Francis Lopez, have a look here. Watch where he catches it. I think that's the right call for sure. You can see just the gather step as he stepped into it. So now potentially a 2 for 1 coming up here for Gunma Crane Thunders. It's off in the corner. Hasakawa, 3 is up. Wide open, couldn't get it. Fuji, 3. Only number 2 for Gunma Thunders. And they turn it over. Down by 3. Kerry Blackshear thinks about it. One-legged trademark Kerry Blackshear Jr. The one-legged fadeaway. That's the textbook trademark shot of him here in the B-League, or when he played in the BCL in Turkey. It was a 10-point lead with over 2 minutes. Now it's a 1-point ball game. Gunma's back in it. Fighting Eagles, one final play. Time winding down from the logo. Not gonna go. While we head into the final 10 minutes. Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Right now, that lead has completely disintegrated. They've led by as many as 11, and now they only lead by 1. We'll be back in just under 2 minutes for the 4th and final quarter. Well, that was a 3 by Osakawa falling in the hands of Fuji. And then the costly turnover right there. And then it became the textbook, trademark, infamous one-legged fadeaway by Kerry Blackshear Jr., 2024 B.LEAGUE champion. Former University of Florida Gator. Well, they have struggled immensely in this game. But could they find their way back? Mark Burton now into the game here for Mark Burton, excuse me. My apologies, Mark Burton hasn't featured too much in this game, but could be a good X factor now in the fourth quarter. Final 10 minutes. We're live here in Nagoya, B.LEAGUE basketball. Well, there's a step back three. They've hit a lot tonight, and they continue to fire in. Big time when they needed them. You can indeed make that 9 out of 21 from the three-point line for the Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Keeps them in the lead. Mike Burton getting called for the foul. Oh, Fuji's got to be careful. Threw an elbow to the face. That should be an offensive foul. Very Blackshear. Finds Nakamura. Pulls up from 15, contested. Blackshear for the tip-in. Keeping his team in this game. He's got 15 so far this evening. Great performance from Kerry Blackshear. 2 rebounds away and 7 assists away for a potential triple-double. Control, didn't know who he was kicking out to. Final seconds, Hail Mary 3. 24-second violation. We had no choice but to take that one. It's tough circumstances for Rutu Yasuoka. Oh, nice diamond. We're going to go in with a level play at 58 apiece. The finish by Nakamura, but the sublime prime premier dime coming from Yuma Fuji. If you're a neutral fan, you want to see this game go right down to the wire. Burton still has it. 5 seconds. Looks to penetrate. No foul given. And now Gunma can't take the lead. This is the point of the game. This home crowd feared his foul is going to be picked up. The foul is on Takaya Sasayama, who's had some great moments from the perimeter in this game. Well, Namizato back in the lineup. Gunma struggling to get it in bounds. Kitty Jones just able to become available at that point. Gunma looking to take the lead. Well, Jones had time for a three-pointer, but they go to Kerry Blackshear Jr. He's got 17 and finally gives them the lead. But he's unstoppable. He has truly been the signing of the season. And this is their biggest lead in the game at 2 points. They haven't led since the first quarter. Namizato. There's a pump fake. Jones fires a 3. O'Mara fighting for the offensive board. Fighting Eagles don't want to throw this away now. They've come too far. Takes a deflection, goes out of bounds, but it's going to remain their ball on the baseline. Plenty of time in this game for both these two teams. What an exciting matchup it's turned out to be. Quick curl screen, gets the and one, and gives Fighting Eagles Nagoya a chance to regain the lead. Well, what excellent execution, but it's the curl screen by Tensho Sugimoto. Namizato with a great dime. And that time, unfortunately, very rarely you see Trey McKinney-Jones not aware. But even the greatest of all players defensively can have a lapse in the moment. Three-point play converted. Fighting Eagles retake the lead. little bit of full court pressure. Kerry Blackshear becoming a pressure reliever. Quiet game for Trey McKinney-Jones. Now picks up his dribble, nowhere to go. Final seconds. Jones forces his way in. Almost came up with his own rebound. That's going to remain Gunma ball on the sideline. Well, they've defended him very well. They've contained him as great as anybody you'll see here in the B-League. But is it enough in the end? Jones still has it. Kerry Blackshear Jr. thinks about the three, goes for it. That's way off the mark. Fighting Eagles just able to survive that possession. Namizato in the key, but again, had time and space, probably should have gone off the bank. Now it's going to be the nerves and anxiety of both teams. Jones cuts. This is good defense. But Amara comes up. One great defense by Jeremy Jones. Zato kicks this one out. Another wide open three by Sugimoto. As the three-point shooting may have cooled down at the wrong time here for Fighting Eagles. Over 20 attempts. They've converted 9 so far this evening. Jones kicks out. McKinney-Jones goes in for a penetration. Makes the layup. And now the lead goes back to Gunma. 5:45. Timeout's going to be called by Fighting Eagles. What an exciting finish we could potentially be having here in Nagoya. We'll be back from this timeout in under 1 minute. Well, 5:45, great work by Kyle Milling's players to kind of hang in there, especially since offensively, wow, it's been a lot of futility tonight here from Gunma, but, great teams. They always find a way to battle, just find the openings to get back in and try to win. And Fighting Eagles Nagoya will try to hold on to this one. Amara, out of control, not good. Oh. Not sure if that took a deflection off of Trey McKinney-Jones, but it's going to go back to Gunma Crane Thunders. Well, it's actually great defense by A.J. Edu. Well, I told you, Karl Anthony Towns once said that A.J. Edu made him a great international player at the World Cup. And that's exactly why A.J. Edu gets those kind of compliments. Woodbury finding Nakamura. The biggest lead they've had has been 2 points. Final seconds of Woodbury's got to isolate. Oh, he turns it over. Good defense by Jeremy Jones. Tough possession for Gunma Crane Thunders, but as mentioned, good hands by Jeremy Jones. Any bucket now would give Fighting Eagles the lead again, but it's going to be a foul called. That one's on Takuto Nakamura. Well, looks like another timeout is going to be called. These two teams will talk it over. Nakamura reaching from behind and picking up the foul. So we'll be back from this timeout in under 1 minute. Well, 4:49 to go here. Again, Coach Boykin can be very proud of how his players have performed. They still have a chance to win this one, but they're down by 1 with 4:49. Oh, good defense by Nakamura. Namizato. See, sometimes these players, they've got to remain focused. They can't anticipate any contact they make with the defense is automatically going to be a foul. Namizato is one of their experienced players. Handoff coming. McKinney-Jones goes in. What a finish by Trey McKinney-Jones. The exquisite finger roll. Biggest lead of the game for Gunma Crane Thunders. Fighting Eagles cut it back down to 1. Nice little curl jump shot coming from Tensho Sugimoto. Well, looking like a baby Allen Houston as he curled that screen and got open from the mid-range. 4 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Another penetration, both teams. What, it's Trey McKinney-Jones again? Well, could it be Trey cooking time? He's been quiet, but I told you, you can only hope to contain McKinney-Jones. Wow, no travel called. Sugimoto may have got some air miles, got away with that. Namizato can level things up. The foul is going to be called against AJ Edu, blocking out against Shonomara. I think that's, third team foul against Gunma. Second personal against AJ Edu. Well, Edu's done a great job against Shonomara, considering the size advantage and physicality that Amara does possess. AJ Edu is a world-class defender. And there you can see, draws the offensive foul, frustrates Amara. Karl Anthony Towns, I'll repeat and I'll quote him again. AJ Edu made him a better international player because of his defense. Well, Gilas Pilipinas fans, you're going to need AJ Edu in the first games against Guam of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. We're going to go to the monitor now to find out if this is going to be upgraded to an unsportsmanlike. 3:29 to go. We'll find out what our officials will make. Well, no upgrade given, so it's going to remain a regular foul. I'd say that's probably the right decision, no doubt about it. To be fair, having a look at the replay, didn't really look like there was too much of a malicious. So it's good composure for the referees not to overreact and try to upgrade that. 3-point lead, the biggest it's been so far for Gunma. But they can extend it now with over 3 minutes. Edu finds Woodbury. Pulling a double team, but no problem. Simply too dominant by the veteran, 38 years young. Almost turning it over. 5-point deficit. Fighting Eagles need a bucket now. There's Sugimoto. Pump fakes. Gotta make it. Huge three-pointer. Back to a 2-point deficit. Well, Tencho Sugimoto giving them a lifeline. And here's Trey McKinney-Jones. He hasn't made a three tonight. And again, Trey Ball, Trey cooking, Trey McKinney-Jones. Huge 5-point Gunma lead. And that's going to be the final team foul against Gunma with 2:21. It's on Takuto Nakamura. That's his 4th personal foul, so he has got to be disciplined for the final 2:21. Oh, the screen. Sugimoto, it's a long 2 from the line. Amara battles, goes out of bounds, but Fighting Eagles will get it back. So I wonder here if Coach Kyle Milling will utilize the head coach's challenge. See, if you ever get a chance to meet Kyle Milling, great coach, nice guy. Yes, he's, oh no, they're going to get it back, so they didn't need to use it. Because Coach Kyle Milling, a friend of mine, had the pleasure of getting to know him at the 2024 FIBA BCL Asian Dubai. MVP coach, MVP most valuable player. Any bucket now can set the daylight between Gunma and Fighting Eagles. Woodbury goes in. Can't finish. Rebound secured. Still a bit of time left here for Fighting Eagles. And a blocking foul is going to be given, so this will send O'Mara to the free throw line. Great chance of Fighting Eagles to chip into a deficit without any time coming off the clock. O'Mara's got 11 points, 8 boards. It's 3 out of 4 from the free throw line this evening. Well, it's only the first personal foul against Woodbury. He saw Ko Flippin inactive this evening because they need him back, because for them to be a championship caliber team, they need everybody healthy for the season. Mara makes the first free throw. The former Shiga Lakes player, Osaka Vesa, came to Japan in 2019, has pretty much called this country, this magnificent, beautiful country, and one of the top international pro leagues in the world, his new home. Well, those fans for Gunma, they've made the long journey from the city of Ota in the Gunma prefecture all the way here to Nagoya. Well, they need something big here. Wallen was wide open. Well, 118, they lead by 4. Can they hold on? Trailed by as many as 11, but they didn't take the lead until, well, they had the lead originally, but they didn't reclaim the lead until here in the 4th quarter. They don't want to throw this away now. O'Mara battles. Fighting Eagles still have it. Minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Lamar in the paint, turnaround jumper, good defense. And again, it is A.J. Edu. No need to foul here. They don't need to foul. There's a double team. Likewise, Gunma. Just need to take time off the clock. The 5 seconds. Trey McKinney-Jones. Is it trade time? And there is the foul you did not want to give away. Because now Trey McKinney-Jones will indeed go to the charity stripe. And that is a poor foul if you ask me. Well, a timeout is going to be called. 31.4. We'll return from this timeout in just under 1 minute. Gunma Crane Thunders looking to run away with a victory. Championship contender this season, there's no argument. Well, depending how Trey... Oh, no free throws coming. That was the final foul to give away. But it does put 14 fresh. So it's still a bad situation. Because Gunma, you can just hold the ball. Double team comes. Nakamura finds Fuji. Fuji goes baseline. Gets rejected. So 15.1 down by 4. They are going to need some miracle to try to get back in. You got to think. A 3 would probably what you want to go for. Now, I don't know what the referees are going to review here, but Coach Kyle Milling not happy about something. Well, we're going to find out very soon what they reviewed. Maybe time, that's what it was, just to find out how much time was on the clock. So good choice there by the referees. Always good to be certain how much time was left. Well, timeout now. Well, no timeout, actually. Teams actually have to come back on the floor. Well, they got to be quick. Not a lot of time. Namizato, there's the quick 3. Sugimoto, and that's way off the mark. And job might be done by the Gunma Crane Thunders. Well, it's a big victory for a team contesting for a championship. I don't understand why foul now, because you got to play this team tomorrow. You want to lose by as less points as possible, but does now actually send them to the free throw line. Well, 6.3, a timeout is going to be called. Both teams want to take it over. 6-point lead. And it looks like Gunma Crane Thunder's job has been done. The question is, will Gunma be at the Yokohama Arena at the finals come the end of the season? They lost in the first round of the playoffs last season. We'll see how far this team goes. We'll be back from this timeout very soon. Well, here we go, fans. Very much looks inevitable that Gunma Crane Thunders are going to leave with the victory. And my word, if they done magnificent, having trailed by as many as 11, and for the majority of this game couldn't find any rhythm in this game. Fighting Eagles will try to salvage anything left. And they're taking too much time again as the final shot won't go. Gunma Crane Thunders win 73-67 against the Fighting Eagles Nagoya. A huge win led by Kerry Blackshear Jr., Trey McKinney-Jones, and the elite defense of A.J. Edu. Congratulations to Kyle Milling's players. Why not Gunma Crane Thunders? Why not now? This team could very well be a championship contender. And you saw there the first quarter definitely going in favor of Fighting Eagles Nagoya. But the second half clearly belonged to the Gunma Crane Thunders. Coach Boykin, of course, knows, as I said pregame, a very talented team, but it's about finding that consistency and getting them to replicate that on the floor to get those wins. Well, Ruben Boykin is a great coach. There's no argument. He was a great player here in the B-League. Also had a great European career in Poland, in Italy, Greece. But now he'll have to indeed take this loss. Well, we are going to hear from Coach Kyle Milling. We'll also hear from the player of the game. We'll run down the highlights and look at the very best moments from this game, as also reflect on the stats. But a big victory for Gunma Crane Thunders, thoroughly deserving this one. Digging deep and showing that they are going to be a championship contender in the 2026 B-League Finals. Well, these two teams will indeed be in action tomorrow as they will meet here. Because the Fighting Eagles Nagoya, the players, just lining up to get some final words and show their respect and appreciation to their fans. Well, here's Coach Kyle Milling. Let's listen to what he has to say.
本日の勝利おめでとうございます。
こんにちは。ありがとうございます。
いや今日はロースコアの展開で非常にタフなゲームだったと思いますが、今の率直な感想はいかがでしょうか。
But if Nagoya came out very strong and physical, we talked about them being physical and being very aggressive on defense. And we were still surprised in the first half, but in the second half we reacted defensively and we pushed them back to half court and played more our style, and we pulled away in the end.
以前から選手たちも伝えてたんですけど、名古屋の選手、本当に強度高くフィジカルに戦ってくるよっていうのは伝えてて、でファーストハーフのところでしっかり名古屋さんがそういったところで見せてきたんですけど、セカンドハーフに入ってしっかり自分たちの、ディフェンス、ハーフコーチに持ち込んでしっかりディフェンスできたっていうのは良かったと思います。
今日 FE 名古屋のターンオーバー19なんですけども、 そこを誘発できたディフェンスについて、今日はどんな評価をされてますか？
By the first half, we weren't very good on defense, but second half, we were very good. And we're a defensive team. And we showed in the second half when we defend, we can win.
で前半のディフェンスは良くなかったんですけど、そこから修正して後半は良くなってきて、うちらはやっぱりディフェンスのチームなんで、そういったところで強みを生かしてこれからもやっていきたいと思います。
ディフェンス力非常に良かったです。今日ただオフェンススリーポイントのところなかなか成功率が上がりませんでしたも明日はどのようにそこを上げていきますか
？3-point shooting can go up and down. Last game we were hot. Tonight we weren't, but to still win, it shows that if we defend, we can still stay in the game and win. And hopefully tomorrow our shooters will be shooting better.
この前のゲームではスリーポイントをしっかり決めきれたんですけど、スリーポイントこういったのも上がり下がりあると思うので、今回は入らなかったというところでもあるんですけど、しっかりディフェンスしたらこのように勝利できると思うので、明日はシューター陣もう少し、入れれるように、入れてくれればと思いますので、また見ていてください。
じゃあ最後ファイアーブーさんの皆さんに一言お願いします。
Kyo, we have many fans. So, kite kurete arigato. Onegaishimasu. We got one more game before the bye week, so please keep supporting us. I gotta go silent this time. Minasan, 1, 2, 3, Gunma, 1が。
ありがとうございました。
Well, Cal Millie definitely fluent in French as well, of course, where he spent the bulk of his professional career. But what improvements in his spoken Japanese, and because they loved him in Hiroshima. They were heartbroken, to see him leave. But this man, I don't know if it's Duolingo, if it is Rosetta Stone, or if he's just been taking private lessons, but I am impressed. Sugoi. His Japanese is getting better. Well, again, this group of players, like I said, they have all the ingredients to be a very good team. Coach Kyle Millie said they're very physical. There's a lot to like about them. And you know what? All they need is that run. Let's listen out to the game's most valuable player, Kerry Blackshear Jr.
Thank you. Our team fought really hard for this one. Our fans supported us. Some of the best fans in the league, they traveled to support us. So we wanted this one and we fought for it.
この試合も最後までしっかり全員が戦った結果が今回勝利につながったと思いますし、遠征にもかかわらず多くのファンの皆さんに来ていただいて本当にありがとうございます。すごい力になりました。
こういった中でも、本日17ポイント11リバウンドとダブルダブルの活躍です。そういった大車輪の活躍でしたが、本日自分自身の評価はいかがでしたか
I thought I played with good energy today. Missed a lot of easy layups. Our team did a good job of fighting throughout the whole game. We knew we would play a really tough team, so I'm glad to pull out the win with our guys.
で今日は本当にいいエナジーで戦えたと思いますし、レイアップも決めれたと思います。そしてチームでこれ勝ち取った、勝ちだと思いますし、明日もう一戦頑張りたいと思います。
前半やっぱりビハインドを背負っている中、後半非常にディフェンスがさらにギアが上がったと思うんですけども、どんなことを意識されましたか
？We knew that we had a team who could fight through adversity. We knew our mindset is defense first. We knew we gave them too many easy layups, too many easy threes, so we wanted to get back to being us the second half.
で本当にうちは逆境に強いチームなので、こうやったセカンドハーフでしっかり修正してディフェンスできたと思いますし、ファーストハーフ本当にレイアップ、簡単レイアップ、スリーポイント入れられたので、そこをしっかり守れたのがセカンドハーフでこういった勝ちにつながったと思います。
明日相手はさらにエナジーを持って戦ってくると思います。どういうふうに受けますか
？We're just going to come out and compete. We're going to learn from this game. We know we can play even better as individuals, as a team, so we're going to respond as best we can to their energy and be us.
でやはり相手も2ゲーム目ホームということで強く出てくると思うんですけど、それに負けないようにこちらもしっかりエナジー出していって、明日もチームで勝ちを取れるようにやっていきたいと思います。
はい、最後ファイアブルさんの皆さんに一言お願いします。
It's a blessing to play for you guys. We love playing here. We'll fight as hard as we can for you guys. We got one more before the break, so we'll give it our all tomorrow. Thank you guys.
本日もたくさんの応援ありがとうございます。皆さんの前で本当にプレーできることを本当に楽しみにしています。で、ブレイク前に1ゲームありますが、明日必ず勝利して終えたいと思いますので、応援のほどよろしくお願いします。
はい、ありがとうございます。
Well, very professional words from Kerry Blackshear Jr. Now he'll go to say big arigato gozaimasu. Basketball no minasan. Gunma Crane Thunders. A big thank you to the Gunma Crane Thunders. Tell you what, my Japanese is terrible. But a big win. They'll have that final game against Fighting Eagles Nagoya tomorrow before we head into the international window of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Well, you can hear it from both Coach Kyle Milling and Kerry Blackshear Jr. Tomorrow will be a tough game. Fighting Eagles Nagoya will be looking to bounce back. And like I said, when it is the international break, it's a much-needed time of rest for all the teams in the B-League and all professional teams across the globe. So, well, get ready. Get ready for the journey to Qatar 2027 FIBA Basel World Cup qualifiers. 6 windows. Because you can watch all the games live on Courtside 1891. Well, we'll look at the highlights from this game indeed, and what a big win it was for the Gunma Crane Thunders. You gotta think Gunma Crane Thunders were completely out of this game in the first half. 18 points in the paint in total for the Fighting Eagles Nagoya. They only had 8 second chance points, considering that you had a great offensive rebounder in the likes of Sean O'Mara. O'Mara had 3 offensive boards out of the total of 8 for the Fighting Eagles Nagoya, but only 7 points coming from their bench. Their biggest lead was 11 points. And only 4 points from turnovers in total in the game. While Gunma, they showed the resilience, the versatility. 27 points off of all the turnovers from Nagoya. And 32 points in total from the bench. Remember, Trey McKinney-Jones and Hasagawa came off the bench. Well, they won by 6 points. That was their biggest lead. They went on a 9-0 run in this game. They had 8 fast break points with 18 second chance points. And if you want to know the one stat that dominated this game, well, it was definitely indeed the 3-point shooting for Fighting Eagles Nagoya. 10 out of 28, only 3 out of 24 from downtown for Gunma, considering they won. But where they completely ran away with this game was inside the paints. You saw 17 points coming from Kerry Blackshear Jr., 14 from Woodbury. Trey McKinney-Jones also with 13. 3 players in double figures. And even with Terrence Woodbury being second highest scoring player for Gunma Crane Thunders, Gunma dominated this game inside the paint. 44 points. Let's look at the three-pointer from Naoto Tsuji. Tough night from the perimeter for the three-point shooters of Gunma Crane Thunders, but the bigs came into play. Well, Fighting Eagles Nagoya, they were riding on the momentum, the confidence they were building from the three-point line. But they have to understand, if you want to compete against the B-League's best, you've got to find other ways to score. Big performance tonight from that young man. AJ Edu, just phenomenal. 9 points, 5 assists and 4 boards. 6 rebounds and 5 assists away from a potential triple-double. It was Kerry Blackshear who actually finished with a double-double of 17 points and 11 rebounds. Well, where next for these two teams? They will indeed be in action against each other tomorrow. It's going to be quite an exciting game if you consider how close this one was in the end. I think Fighting Eagles Nagoya will be disappointed to know that they weren't able to come up with the victory. Well, the third quarter is where it all went wrong for Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Probably the point of the game they should have run away with this game. At that point, it was just too little too late, unfortunately. Unable to secure the victory. But you can credit that down to the championship potential DNA coming from Gunma Crane Thunders. Well, here was the one-legged fadeaway that gave them the lead for the first time since the first quarter. That's the trademark Kerry Blackshear Jr. 3. The response, though, the big 3 by Sugimoto. He had some big moments in this game. Well, it was actually Ruto Yasuoka that made that last 3. My apologies. Here was the give and go. AJ Edu finding Kerry Blackshear Jr. They're a great 1-2 combo inside the paints. But then it just became Trey McKinney Jones cooking. Trey Chef, Trey Bull, Trey Time. McBuckets. Trey McBuckets Jones. And that was a huge 3-pointer that put them back up by 5 after the previous play that was a 3-pointer by Tensho Sugimoto that cut it down to 2. Well, we're going to look at the game's stats in this. As mentioned, only 10 3-pointers. Only, I say. That's a lot of threes. 35%, 12%, only 12% for Gunma Crane Thunders. They were 3 out of 24. 17 free throws taken in total by the Gunma Crane Thunders, missing 5 of those. But the rebounding count, 18 offensive boards and the 44 points inside the key is really what kept Gunma Crane Thunders in this game, that allowed them and enabled them to take over in the second half. 27 points from the turnovers, or from the second chance points. 18 points of turnovers converted by Gunma Crane Thunders. When these two teams meet tomorrow, Fighting Eagles Nagoya need to understand, if you're going to beat Gunma Crane Thunders, a team in quest to become a championship contender this season in the B-League, you've got to find other ways to score other than the three-point line. Well, it should be an exciting game. They look at the final stats between these two. Only 7 points coming from the bench of the Fighting Eagles Nagoya, 32. I mean, the depth is deep for Gunma Crane Thunders. Well, look at the game's leaders, because there's your head-to-head. Quiet night for Naoto Tsuji. Only that 1 3-pointer, while 4 3-pointers converted by Ruto Yasuoka. Yasuoka, 30 years of age, hasn't quite yet been able to break into the Akatsuki Japan's national team, so be interested to see whether he's going to be in contention for the upcoming FIBA World Cup qualifiers in the 2 games they'll play against Chinese Taipei and Kobe. Well, very soon we'll look at the game's leaders in terms of points, rebounds. As mentioned, Kerry Blackshear Jr. getting that big double-double this morning. Well, it's this morning for me. I'm commentating this game in Slovakia. Actually, it's evening time currently in Japan. That is the beauty of international basketball, being able to commentate these games globally now for 5 years here in the B-League. Well, as we look at the game's leaders, you can see that Sugimoto, along with Namizato, combined total of 26 points. 3 players with 12 points, Omari Yasuoka and Namizato. While Jeremy Jones finishing with 10. 5 players in double figures. Only 3 for Gunma Crane Thunders. But it just wasn't enough to suffice a victory. Well, the 4th leading scorer, as mentioned, AJ Edu, almost had triple-double numbers. Needed 6 assists and 5 rebounds. But I think he'll be much happy to know they took the win. The much-needed victory. Well, there you have leaders in all statistical categories for both teams. Sugimoto leading in points for Fighting Eagles. Amara leading for rebounds. And Namizato was his 4 assists away from a double-double. And AJ Edu, of course, leading in assists tonight, had 4 boards, 9 points. But Kerry Blackshear Jr. took the honors of player of the game as he finished with a double-double tonight for the Gunma Crane Thunders. And a much-needed big win for them. Like I said, they are in the competitive Eastern Conference. Conference in which they have to battle against both Chiba Jets and the defending champions, Utsunomiya Brex. Remember, the Brex winning his team. Because coming into this game, Chiba top of the B-League 15-1, but positions 2 and 3 filled up by Lavenga Hokkaido and Tojiki Brex with a record of 12-4. There are the fixtures that you'll see tomorrow here in the B-League. Well, the big one. Brex up against Chiba Jets. See how that victory plays out for them. Because they did meet early in the season. Chiba did actually win, which was a big monumental win. Sendai up against Hiroshima. Sun Rocket Shibuya up against Saga Ballooners. And more games. Well, fans, a big arigato gozaimasu. Ayasumi nasai and sayonara for joining us here on B.LEAGUE International. For now, my name is Josh Bett. It's good night, goodbye, and God bless. We'll see you tomorrow for more games here in the Japanese B.LEAGUE.